Hello, good afternoon. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, all social media platforms, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. This is Election Brief. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, and the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Please stay tuned in. Hello again. Running mate for the governing MPP, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has received commendation for his critical role in implementing the free SHS policy. Paramount Chief of Adan State, Nene Abram Kabu Akuoko III, noted that Dr. Opoku Prempeh persevered with the policy's implementation despite initial challenges during his tenure as Education Minister. Now, the chief praised the policy for alleviating the financial burden on ordinary Ghanaians and emphasized the need for its sustainability. The Paramount Chief made these remarks through his linguist when Dr. Opoku Prempeh paid a courtesy call on him as part of his Greater Accra campaign tour.
I can easily refer to your DCE. She has done so hard, so well for us. In fact, the only accolade I give her is the hard working DCE.
Is it?
And when it was time for the new patriotic party to show forth that it can do what it said, and when it came to that time, they did not choose anyone but Matthew Opoku Prempeh, aka Nabo. Not just that, it was a daunting task. He started it so well. When there were problems, he did not back off. There were challenges along the way. We have come a long way today. And we know that the rich and the poor, their children, have equal opportunity to make sure that their God-given talents will be realized. The teacher is grateful to what you have done in education and energy. Teacher expects that God will lift you to where you belong so that you can do more for us. There is one thing, you are of royalty, and so we associate with you. We associate with you. And so if you are there, it means our one leg is already there. Nature therefore gives you his full endorsement that you go on to become what God has destined you to be. On your way here, you saw the road. And the youth of Adan, and all people of Adan are looking up to you, that you will fix this road and make it more travel. So that those that are coming for the festival, you know, when they are happy, sometimes they get overexcited, so that we don't have any untoward stories.
We can now go live to the campaign grounds and engage Samuel Imbura of our political desk for more on this story. Samuel, what has been the message of the MPP running mate on his tour? Kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me, Kenneth?
Yes.
So at the moment, we are at the Paramountcy, and this is the second palace Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh and his entourage is visiting. Initially, were the comments of the Paramount Chief for the Ada area that he just played a while ago. So he's doing a similar engagement with the Paramount Chief for the Prapram traditional area, which is closed door at the moment. So we are just outside there. waiting to hear the conversations that went on. But basically, it has been an engagement of propagating he and his boss, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's agenda in transforming the country. One, he's talking about the need to have a development partnership between the traditional authorities and the political class. A reason they have to first touch base with the traditional authorities before they kickstart the main campaign. So he's soliciting the views of all these paramount chiefs, not just in the greater Accra region, but we know he has been to other parts of the country as well. So this is about the fourth region that he's engaging the paramount chiefs, so that once he gets the blessings of the paramount chiefs, he can now get to the main base, that is the constituency or the electoral area, to propagate his message. But basically, he has been telling them the achievements of the MPP government and why there's a need for the people of Ghana to give them the opportunity to, to lead the country in this crucial election by breaking the aid. So first and foremost, he talks about the fact that there's a need to at least get the support of the traditional leaders, and then collaborating with ideas in making the country better. He admits that yes, they have done so well, and going forward, there's a need for them to improve on what they are doing. So basically, Mighty Opoku Prempeh is optimistic that they have done their part. It's now left with the people of Ghana and the traditional authorities to rally their support behind them.
And it's Pram his last stop for today's campaign tour?
Not really. From here, we are moving to Tema, where he'll be meeting the paramount chief there. Then subsequently, we'll end the tour at the Nungua Paramountcy. And that's where his tour of the Greater Accra region will be ending today.
Right. We can now listen to the running mate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
If you are not part of a football ball, if you are not part, so please, yours is part. Your royalty is part. Your human being is part. Your blood is part. Your blood is part. Ada is part. So partner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Partner the relevant to bring development to Accra. When my brother Titus Glover, who wants me to cut short, he can take me to the next place that we are coming. He was talking, he talked about development. No government has come and developed Accra than another government. My sister will tell you, and will tell you more. When I said, we are going to campaign, because what we have done, electricity, hospital, and everything, young people have not seen. In fact, more is going to come and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Amen. So when we count the votes from Accra, we don't only want to count for the president. We want to see your representative. We want to see your representative. We want to see your representative in the parliament of Ghana. So that when His Royal Highness wants somebody to send to where we will be staying, he calls her own granddaughter to go and visit his own grandson and bring development to Accra.
You heard the running mate of the governing New Patriotic Party. In other stories today, President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Umar Aliu Toure, says the ECOWAS Commission will soon deploy a technical team alongside long-term and short-term observer missions to Ghana as the country prepares for its general elections in December. Now, he appealed to Ghanaians to safeguard the peace and security, stressing the importance of improving the democratic processes. Dr. Toure made the remark on the sidelines of the opening of the 5th Inter-Regional Economic Communities CEOs Conference in Accra.
ECOWAS is fully engaged in this election, and I would like to congratulate the people of Ghana, the government and the people of Ghana for their political maturity. ECOWAS will continue to work very closely with Ghana. As you know, we are working on deploying a technical team here We are working with the government to agree on a date, and the technical team will sit with all the stakeholders to determine the type of support they need from ECOWAS. And we will also be deploying our election observers, long-term as well as short-term observers. And ECOWAS appeals to all citizens and all residents of Ghana to really safeguard the peace and security of this country. We are all winners when the country is at peace. And nobody wins in a crisis situation. I wish everybody a successful electoral process, and we want to assure them of ECOWAS' full commitment to working with Ghana and Ghanaians towards a successful election. Democracy is not an event, it's a process that we should be engaged in throughout. And I think where we feel we need to improve on, we should all work to improve on that area. It is a live activity and an activity that we should continue with as long as we are in this business.
It was cancelled in 2021 under very controversial circumstances, but road tolls are set to be reintroduced in 2025. This is according to the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, who presented the media budget review to Parliament yesterday. The minister admitted the last 2 years have been difficult, but said things have improved in the last 1 year. But the minority in Parliament, in a sharp rebuttal, say the government is bereft of new ideas. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Opoku Prempeh has more in the following report.
The media budget review statement delayed for 5 hours. It was scheduled to start at 10 o'clock a.m., but it ended up starting up at 3 o'clock because of certain delays regarding the minority MPs coming to the floor. It took close to 4 hours before the minority backed down on whatever demands they were making of the finance minister in terms of their common fund and other issues before they did walk into the chamber. When they did eventually, matters went underway. The finance minister admits that things have been difficult over the last few years, but says government has been on top of the issues and have been addressing them.
Mr. Speaker, the last 2 years have been extremely challenging globally, and Ghana has not been an exception. The difficult economic environment has truly affected businesses and families, particularly the vulnerable in our society. These challenges have severely affected households, increased cost of living, and limited the creation of job opportunities.
But one big news that did come up in this budget is that road tolls are finally coming up again in 2025.
Mr. Speaker, government will also develop a framework for the reintroduction of road and bridge tolls to facilitate the processes for the implementation of a modernized and efficient road and bridge tolling system commencing in 2025.
Well, after this, we heard from both the minority and majority leader who are giving us a glimpse of what is to come when the House starts commenting on this. We first heard from the majority leader who said that the finance minister has delivered what shows that the President Akufo-Addo government has really delivered on the mandate given to them by the Ghanaian people.
The minister has walked us through some major interventions. One, that the school feeding program, which was previously being patronized by 1.6 million Ghanaian children, is now being patronized by 4 million Ghanaian children. In other words, 4 million Ghanaian vulnerable children are benefiting from the school feeding program.
In the next 3 days, members of parliament will start commenting on this media budget review statement. Given that this was a statement and not a motion, MPs will not debate. They would have to comment and they would not have to say things that will provoke a debate. Already on the floor today, we got a glimpse of what is to come and how that may be a difficult thing for the Speaker to control the House in terms of limiting them to comments and not debates. Reporting for Joy News, Opoku Prempeh, Parliament House, Accra.
Well, still in Parliament, the minority caucus in the House said the media budget review is bereft of new ideas, gives no hope, and fails to offer a roadmap to address the numerous problems facing the people of Ghana. Here is Minority Leader Dr. Cassiel Atoforsen.
We have just listened to the media budget review, of the minister responsible for finance. You agree with me that typical of this government, this address was uninspiring, bereft of new ideas, gives no hope, and fails to offer a roadmap for addressing the numerous problems facing the people of Ghana. This media review leaves many people disappointed and uninspired. It gives no hope to the people of Ghana, and that anything this government had said and have done over the last 7.5 years, they've done nothing to reverse the negative trend. In the last 8 years, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government have burdened the ordinary Ghanaian and businesses with a number of taxes, making Ghana a high tax regime. These taxes include e-levy, COVID levy, an effective VAT rate of about 22%, a distorted value-added tax regime, a bad-tin tax, a baller tax, in other words, a sanitation levy, a high tax on petroleum product, an emission levy, a high import taxes, burdensome fees and charges across all sectors of the economy, and over 40 new taxes in the last 7.5 years. These burdensome taxes have made Ghana unattractive for investment and foreign direct investment. As a result, many Ghanaian businesses are relocating to Togo and Ivory Coast, among others. In fact, last week I heard of a company moving from Ghana to Benin Republic. Ghana has lost so many jobs opportunities as a result of the relocation of these businesses. This adds to the already high unemployment situation due to the fact that the government has failed to create new jobs. As a result of high import duties and levies at our port, Ghana is no longer an attractive gateway to West Africa. Our port, particularly the Tema port, has lost almost 50% of its traffic, with its further job losses. Living in Ghana is now exceedingly difficult as the cost of living has now become unbearable.
DC has accused the Finance Minister Mohamed Amin Adam of lies in the Fiscal Policy Review. Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, joins me via Zoom for more on this. Mustafa, welcome to the program. Why are you accusing the Finance Minister of lying to the public yesterday?
So thank you very much, and good afternoon to our cherished listeners. Yesterday, I was calmly glued to my TV and gauging the mood of Ghanaians. Basically, the mood of Ghanaians was to see a review to bring on board some news of relief to Ghanaians in terms of the burdens that we currently carry. Unfortunately, the minister lied. The minister lied on number one. The minister says that about 13 automobile companies have been brought into Ghana. That is a lie. We don't have 13 automobile companies in Ghana. Again, he has failed to mention these 13 automobile companies. Number two, the minister says that they have completed a number of dams. We've been having this debate and this conversation that there isn't any dam constructed by this government. Clearly, that money they've taken for the purposes of dam was spent, squandered, and shared among party cronies. The minister then says that they have paid a certain number of people leaves. You know, we are daring the minister to publish the names of the beneficiaries of LEAP.
Okay.
And to my record, nobody, deprived families have received LEAP supports from this government. And so I was shocked that in spite of the fact that Ghanaians are choking and getting suffocated by scandals and corruption and everything, hoping that this minister will be different from the old one we've had. It happened to be the case that he's towing the same track, the same lines, lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. When will this regime stop lying to the common Ghanaian?
Okay.
They said that they have built factories, yet there is unemployment. And the approach to unemployment by this government is to recruit post-service personnel into service engagement. Are they not the same people who said they built factories? Where are the factories? Let them show us where the factories are so that we can encourage young people to go and look for jobs. Because people are dying, youths are losing their lives. It's high time we hold this government highly responsible. And I have known Amin Anta as one intelligent person. I want to advise him. This captain in the boat will sink. Let him not sink with the captain. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is sinking as a result of lies. Let him, as a new minister, not toe that line, because he will sink.
Okay. Mustafa Gbande is the Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition NDC. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Now, some prospective first-time voters are warning the monetization of politics and the use of intemperate language during this campaign season may jeopardize Ghana's democracy. They believe politics of insults rather than a battle of ideas only goes to inflame passion and create tension, which could plunge the country into chaos. The young voters want more education and constructive debates to enable them make an informed decision on December 7th. Here are excerpts of the engagement with Lois Shola Adeyemi on Just Turned 18.
Come to give us rice and money to vote for them. I'm thinking, or I'm just asking, this is probably the same way they'll give us arms to fight against their opponents, right?
Exactly. All right. Yes. I'm giving you something to vote for me. It means that you trust me so much. So if I tell you that if I come, I'll do this for you, so take this and vote for me, and you do that. If I give you money that do this so that we will eliminate the opponents, you end up doing it because the thing is, I've bought your votes already. I've bought your mind. So you go ahead to do whatever I tell you to do.
We live in a country where there's unemployment, high cost of living. So I'll go to any extent to get money to fend for myself and then my relatives. So if a politician comes to me, tells me, oh, Charlotte, I'll pay you to do this for me and I'll give you this amount of money, I need the money, so I'll do it.
We should actually listen to the policies and the manifestos well before we make our decisions. So we shouldn't really look at what we are going to gain from them, but we should actually listen to the policies and the manifestos.
Obviously, a lot of division in our political parties. And as a youth, if I am a supporter of NDC and then the leader of the party is using hate speeches against NPP, I will obviously follow him, because we are like kids and we are trying to learn from what we see. So if they don't take the responsibility to use respect in their speeches or to respect each other, we are likely to learn from them and reciprocate the same thing.
So violence doesn't only come from the political parties, but internal factors.
As youth as we are, we see our parents as our role models, and so whatever they will tell us to do is what we will say. So if I hear my mom tell me NDC has done A, B, C, D, and for that reason you should not vote for them or you should engage in violent acts against them, I'll probably do it, because I feel like my parents are always right. So whatever they say is what I will do.
Before speaking at length, I want to find out, how can the country or the nation help us as youth, direct these energies positively, especially when it comes to our democracy, justice?
Okay, I would not engage in any electoral violence or any act that will lead to violence during these elections. And I also entreat my colleagues and fellows not to indulge in such acts.
We need more education. We need to be educated on the power that we hold and how we should use the power that we are holding. It is important for our political leaders to show the example for us to follow, because as I said previously, we follow what we see, we learn from what we see. So we want to be more educated. We want them to promote what behavior they want us to exuberate. So we don't expect them to use hate speeches. We don't expect them to insult each other. We don't expect them to dehumanize the opponent party. We don't expect them to say things that we, even as youth, we don't think is right. We want them to promote respect, to promote love, to promote support. You can support your neighbor even if you don't want to vote for him. You can respect the person as well. So this is what we want the political leaders to do in Ghana.
Well, it's been barely a week since a 20-year-old attempted to assassinate former U.S. President Donald Trump at a campaign rally. As U.S. security services work to understand the motive, the pressing question remains: what drives a prospective first-time voter to engage in political violence? Host of Just Turned 18, Shola Adeyemi, engages some students from Dalhousie University, Canada, to discuss how the youth can eschew political violence. They also share some views on how to redirect the energies of the youth into strengthening Ghana's democracy. Now, this engagement was in partnership with Youth Bridge Foundation.
And also, as youth, why should we, or give us keys or reasons why we shouldn't even engage in political violence in the first place? So we'll talk about how the government can help us, and also how, as youth, what we can do to take away political violence and turn those energies rather into positives. I'm coming to you, Eve.
Okay, so the first thing I would say would just be, in general, finding a good way to connect with youth and being able to educate them on politics in general, because typically when you see flyers or emails or things on sort of the older forms of social media that youth are on, like Facebook and such, that we don't really get the opportunity to see what the political education is like. But if they sort of were able to target us in a different way through social media, through universities, through different outlets, that would be a way to educate us on things and keep us away from the political violence, because what we know will give us the opportunity to educate ourselves and understand things, which will probably stray us a little bit further away from the corruption of certain things that are portrayed in the media in different ways that it would be impacted.
All right, now I'm coming to you, Nathan. Give me your views as well.
Yeah, so I think, I guess to get rid of the issues like that, the best way would be to create youth councils. We're from Dalhousie University, and we have a lot of those, and student representatives, such as on our Senate, and I think it's a great way to get the youth involved, get students involved, and so we can present our opinions, because we often go unheard. Because we're young, a lot of people don't think we have the ability to present the proper ideas, but I think we actually do. And our opinions are valuable, so that would be my biggest advice.
Now, Gabriel, Nathan and Eve have already said how we as peers can help ourselves. Now, in the country you come from, how do you think the government can help push this agenda of trying to get us as youth to not engage in political violence?
I mean, I think the root of political violence probably comes from being alone, right, and misinformation. The more the government pushes us to feel a sense of community, build communities, build the people around you, make sure you have a strong foundation, right? I don't think political violence would happen.
All right. Let me end with you, Prashantha.
I think there's a call for an organization that would be able to filter out kind of the things that we're seeing that are only bad. I think a lot of the time the youth only see a certain portion of what's actually true, and it's easy to believe that when it's being pushed in your face. So I think that there just needs to be more perspectives that's being shown to the youth so we can make our own decisions.
Right. At the end of the day, we are all pushing for positivity, and we all want our first-time voters to vote for people that would suit them, all right? It's not what we're looking at. Yes, and that's what Just Turned 18 is about. Please, we're not doing this conversation alone. We have behind us other people who are also here, and they're first-time voters just like us. So, hello, guys.
That's it for Election Brief. My name is Kenneth Jesse. But for more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.